Today we are going to discuss how I personally overcame anxiety and depression. This is a relevant topic because so many people are going through this now. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psycho anything, okay? This is not a diagnosis. This is not something you can take and run with it. You know, all circumstances are different and they require different solutions, okay? But I'm just strictly talking about my personal experience and how I went through my journey. For me, it all started when I was 11 years old. I didn't understand what anxiety or depression was at the time. When I was that age, I thought it was just sadness, okay? I just didn't know why, but like, you know, I'd have moments here and there throughout the day. I think it all started with like just that one moment, that one day, and then like eventually it added up. And I didn't really talk about these things with anyone growing up either, so that didn't help. I understand too that, you know, you can be in a circumstance where you feel like if you talk about these things, you're just bringing up a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you know, I don't want to bring my baggage anywhere. I don't want to hand my baggage to anyone else. You know, I know that feeling. Back then, like, it went from just feeling moments of sadness to me feeling like my head was racing all the time, to not being able to sleep well, nightmares. When I was younger, I didn't deal with this the way I should have, you know. I don't know what words are allowed here, but basically when I was younger, I was more of the type to just do things just for that quick fix. I did what I thought at that time would numb it away, and that doesn't help. That doesn't confront the situation at all. Actually, it escalates it. You're at that moment, it feels like, you know, you're avoiding it or you're escaping it, and maybe you feel good at that moment, but really, in hindsight, having experienced it, it just prolongs you going through whatever it is at that moment and not even facing it at all. And then that time that you spent, you know, escaping it could have been that time that you equipped yourself more and built endurance and tolerance and resilience to it to overcome it. The lesson I learned, the sooner you can talk about this with someone, the better. There is no dodging it. If you're going through something, like if you're going through it at this moment, then either you need to find a really good friend or a good professional to discuss things with. Now, whether or not you take medication is up to you, okay? Though, you know, personally, take some time to think about it, because I've seen people get hooked on this, the prescriptions. And I knew like, for me, this was something I wanted to take some time to think about, because I didn't want to jump into, you know, prescriptions right away. I wanted to know, you know, the gravity of what I was getting myself into and if I really needed to get into it in the first place. Okay? So that was something I thought about. But now, fast forward to 2024, the word anxiety, the word depression doesn't even come to mind. I choose not to give power to those words. I'm not ignoring it. It's just something that I don't really even think about anymore, because I'm at this stage of my life now where I'm pretty confident in my values and my priorities, and those take precedent in my mind and in my life now, to the point where, like, it's kind of like I don't even have time for anxiety or depression. And like, I don't even, when I was going through it, Like even a few years ago, I refused to take medication personally because I knew that like I was kind of suggesting earlier that, you know, I might not approach that the right way either. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just not going to take that. I don't think I'm going to need it. And I'm just going to deal with this naturally, you know, just becoming more self-aware, building tolerance. Like at that time it didn't feel good, right? Because I wasn't like taking any quick fix solutions, or there was nothing prescribed to me. So I just went about it like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take this one day at a time, and you know, I'm not gonna think about what other people say or care too much about other people's opinions at this point. I just know what I need to do for myself at that moment so that I can overcome this. That was my mindset a few years back, and eventually I did.